Hey, you want to buy a dinosaur?
This is a Jurassic period dinosaur, so about 161 million years old. It's an incredible find, and in terms of size, I don't know exactly how much it weighs, probably 2,000 pounds or so. It's 20 feet long on the stand. If you're measuring from nose to tail, it's approximately 27 feet long.
That's the global head of science and popular culture at the auction house Sotheby's, and she's talking to the Associated Press about our fair friend here called Apex. The remains of a Stegosaurus that make up what's believed to be the most complete specimen of its kind ever discovered.
In terms of Stegosauruses, this is an incredibly rare animal. There are only 8 or 9 known in the world.
Yeah, 8 or 9 in the known world, and it could all be yours to serve as a conversation piece for your living room. But before you open up your Venmo,
the estimate on this is 4 to 6 million. Now, a Stegosaurus of this caliber has never sold at auction before, so we will find out what it is actually worth.
Yeah, sorry to get your hopes up if you thought you could score this bad boy with pocket change. But come on, even back in the 90s, Dogsden offered Nedry quite a bit of cash for just a couple of embryos.
That's 1.5 million if you get all 15 species off the island.
Now our auction type here does have one major selling point about this particular variety of dino. It's a household name.
It's one of the coloring book dinosaurs, right? When you're a kid, you get a coloring book with dinosaurs. You've got T-Rex, you've got Triceratops, you've got Stegosaurus. It's one of the top 3 most recognized and most popular dinosaurs of all time.
Yeah, no offense to that giant rat-like Stegosaurus, or even that newly discovered Lokiceratops that we just told you about here on your daily news refresh. Please subscribe. But she's right. The Stegosaurus is so iconic, it's got a chicken nugget. And considering chickens are descendants of dinosaurs, you probably had a dinosaur for lunch. Though probably not this particular dinosaur. For one thing, it's a fossil, which is bad for your teeth. And second, because Apex was actually in pretty good shape upon the time of its death, with evidence of arthritis suggesting it lived into an advanced age before it died like a dog.
This small detail here, which I think most people would overlook, tells us about how this animal died. This here is a tail chevron. It's one of the spikes on the bottom side of the tail. The animal was found with the tail curled up underneath the body, which is a common death pose for animals. You know, your dogs, cats, when they're gonna die, they're gonna curl up. This dinosaur did the same thing. So that tells us that this animal just laid down and died. It didn't die fighting. We also don't see, as I mentioned earlier, any battle scars. There's no bite marks anywhere. So there's no evidence that it was killed by another animal.
So the auction house says Apex was found and excavated from private land in 2022 and 2023 at the Morrison Formation, which isn't a Beyonce cover of an old Doors song, but an expansive layer of sedimentary rocks that spans several western states. And, according to the National Park Service, was once home to all sorts of dinosaurs, clams, and ferns back in the day. Sotheby's collaborated with the owner of this thing to document Apex's entire discovery, excavation, restoration, preparation, and mounting. And another key reason the Stegosaurus could fetch a pretty multi-million-dollar price isn't just because it's rare like a Pog, but because it's nearly a total Pog collection.
But it's about 79% complete, and that is based on how much of it is actually fossil bone, how much of the bones were actually found.
The thing is mounted in what Sotheby's describes as an aggressive attack pose, and it's actually on display at their New York location ahead of auction as part of Geek Week, their annual sale series that showcases all sorts of natural history and space goods up for sale. Now, if Apex isn't your thing, don't worry. You've still got a chance to pick up an old egg this man is staring at, a communist wetsuit, and a packet of cream of chicken soup from Apollo 12. But if you've absolutely got to get your hands on this Stegosaurus, and you're ready to shell out an estimated 4 to 6 million bucks, its live auction kicks off Wednesday the 17th at 10 a.m. in New York City. And hey, if you're a true lover of old artifacts, subscribe to @TheNewsRefresh for new, weird, and interesting news stories each and every day, plus our huge archive of old stories. Like this one about an auction for a fully drivable car meant to look like a giant radio flyer wagon. Wow, what'll they think of next?